Making fresh pasta is one of the most satisfying things we can do in this world. If you have the right ingredients, knowledge and tools, it can be quite enjoyable. Today we're going to make tortellini, filled with spinach and ricotta, with some fresh salvia from the garden and brown butter. Finished with some Parmigiano Reggiano. So stick around because it's gonna be delicious. So, tortellini. We're going to start with rolling out the dough. I'm using an Italian tool called mattarello. You can of course use a pasta machine. I just prefer the mattarello. It feels more authentic. Roll out the dough as thin as you possibly can. Ideally you want it to be see-through. Make sure to cover the dough with some plastic foil and a damp towel, so it doesn't dry out. Before we move on with the pasta, we need to make the filling. For that we're gonna need some spinach, some ricotta, and if you wanna learn how to make your own ricotta, I have a video right here. We're also gonna need some garlic and some Parmigiano Reggiano. We're gonna season everything with some sea salt, nutmeg, and black pepper. And of course you're gonna need some extra virgin olive oil. Turn on the heat and add some olive oil. Careful not to spill on your shirt. When you start to smell the oil, it's time to add the spinach. Immediately grate in a clove of garlic. Season it with salt and pepper. Cook the spinach until it's nice and soft. Set it to the side to cool for a bit. To a bowl we're going to add some ricotta. We're gonna grate in some Parmigiano Reggiano. And a generous amount of nutmeg. When the spinach has cooled down, chop it up into small pieces and add it to the bowl. Before we move on, I'm gonna let my Italian girlfriend taste it. She said it tasted like home. Great success! Now we're ready to cut the pasta. I'm going to start with half of the dough sheet so it doesn't dry out. Lightly dust it with flour and fold it over itself, making sure that you fold it evenly. We're going to start with cutting the pasta into strips. Then we're going to unfold the strips. And then cut the strips into as even squares as you possibly can. This is homemade pasta, it doesn't need to be perfect. Cut a small hole in the piping bag and fill the square with the right amount of filling. What's the right amount of filling, you ask? You just have to try it yourself and see how much you can fit within the square. Now, take the south tip and join it together with the north tip. Press down the dough to close it. You should be left with a triangle. Twist the west tip around your finger and join it together with the east tip and press it together hard. Repeat the process with the rest of the squares, and then with the rest of the dough. Now, the sauce for this dish is very simple. You only need 2 ingredients: fresh salvia and butter. I had a slight problem. My camera kept overheating, so I had to put it in the fridge for it to cool down. The heat from the kitchen created condensation on the lens, so I guess we just have to live with this for now. To a small pan we're going to add some butter. You can simply melt it, or as I'm doing here, browning it. Take a look at these amazing tortellinis. It's time to cook them in some boiling salted water. Don't worry about the fog, it will clear up any second now. The torts are usually done when they start floating like this, but taste them anyway so that they are al dente. And when they're al dente, it's time to strain out the water. And of course my Italian girlfriend decided to interrupt this critical moment. Add the butter to the bigger pan, then the salvia, and the tortellini. Finish off with some parmigiano and then plate it. And there we have it, tortellini filled with spinach and ricotta, with brown butter and sage. Delicious!
Delicious!
Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the next one, we're making spaghetti with pesto genovese. Thank you very much, take care, ciao!
I'll make you move like your boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Ain't no sitting down when I get in the zone.
Just give him a crown, let the king take his throne. Oh, oh, ah, ah, yeah.